Hi everyone, welcome back once again. And today I'm here with a very remarkable and extremely gorgeous, very admirable woman, Chant'l. Just to tell you a little bit about her, well, Chant'l runs this online community called Thrive Lounge where they influence more than 150,000 women each year to uncomplicate their goals and achieve their dreams. So I can't wait to welcome Chant'l with us today, and then we'll hear more from her about all the work that she's doing. So welcome, Chant'l.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much for making the time to come and speak to me.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I love talking about Thrive Lounge, and I cannot wait to dive into some of the stuff that we're doing.
So get started. Tell us all about yourself and introduction also to all the good work that you're doing at Thrive Lounge.
Yeah, so a little background about me. A couple of years ago, I want to say 5 years ago now, I decided that um, I was tired of just trying all the things and getting nowhere. My life had hit this point where even though I'd done well in college, even though I had kind of all the makings of success, did the pre-med, got the degree, graduated with, really high grades, went to all kinds of internships and volunteer work, all these things that on paper I felt made me look really good, that people tell you you must do. And then I was so happy to get rejected from every single medical school that I applied to. And and I at the same time was going through this breakup, and when you go through a breakup you immediately think my life needs to change. And so I cut all my hair off and I was like, I am doing something different with my life. This isn't working. So I started applying to jobs, and then got rejected from every single job I applied to, and I'm like, what the heck? I got all of these like degrees and I did all of these things, and it's all leading to like nothing. Are you kidding me? Um, and so I felt really depressed. Like I was in this space where I got like this receptionist job, and I was also a waitress, and I was also freelancing, and I was also like trying to start something. And I kept starting and not finishing, trying things that didn't work. And at some point, a friend of mine saw that I was struggling, a friend slash mentor, and she came to me and said, hey, how about you come to my vision board party? Now, I'd heard of vision boards, but I didn't believe they worked. I mean, it's a glorified arts and crafts project, right? Like you grab magazines, you slap them on a board, and then magically things happen. Like, I didn't believe in this. So, the only thing that got me going was like, my life already sucks. So, I might as well try this arts and crafts project with you, right? So, I went to her vision board party, and there I met all these women who were telling me like they saw this light in me. They saw this like, you can be successful. You can't give up. Now we all fall down. We'll all get back up. We'll support each other. We'll rise together. And at that point I thought maybe I could finish something. So I created my first vision board and set a goal simply to finish something. That's it. I didn't have big dreams. Like I had big dreams before. It didn't work out for me. Now, if I could just finish something, then maybe I can like move up from there. So my entire vision board was finish something. And within that first year, I had studied for the GRE, which is you need to take that to get into grad school in the US. So I studied for the GRE. I got into the top programs for data science, which is like a highly competitive industry. And that is something that I tried to do several times before, but kept giving up because I didn't want to like actually take this test. It's hard. And I believed that I was bad at standardized exams. And so I actually did it within a year of this first vision board and got in. I couldn't believe it. And so I created another vision board. This next vision board had $75,000 on it because when I graduated, that is the salary that I wanted. And I literally was like, okay, I finished something. Let's see what I can do now. So the program was 9 months. I graduated within 9 months, was the first person to receive an offer, and my very first offer was exactly $75,000.
Wow,
And
brilliant.
I was floored. Yes, I was
I
floored.
wouldn't call it a vision board. I would call it a miracle board. That's amazing.
I called my best friend and started crying. I could not believe that that was the exact offer I got. So, obviously, now I believe in it. I am a believer. There is nothing you can't tell me that a vision board can't do. And so I started to host actual vision board events. And I started with just doing conferences. So I would get a lot of speakers together and we would talk about, goals that we're setting and create a vision board there. And then I had a website. And from there, I started doing courses. And so that's really how Thrive Lounge was born, out of like, oh, this does work. More people need to know about this. And so I started to create this community of goal setters, achievers, vision boarders that want to create the world that they kind of see in their head, that they know in their heart, but like something's not clicking. So we create those vision boards to get there. And I also teach coaches that want to help their audiences create vision board events. I help them do that as well.
Fantastic. So I think that's about your journey into getting through to starting to create the vision board. What I want to know now is your why. So could you tell us at what point did you decide that you wanted to create these vision boards and help other women? Why did you choose to take that leap into this and not use this vision board as an epiphany to maybe pursue something else? So, what was your why for pursuing exactly the path of the vision board also for other women?
The big why was that I wanted to be there for my past self. Like, I think about myself at like the darkest possible moment. And it was a time where I was working those three jobs and still trying to build something, because when you are in a place that's really dark, when you're at rock bottom, you're literally just grasping at anything that you can find to help you get out. And so I was reading all these books and articles about what successful people do, and, what you're supposed to do in the mornings to be successful, and how you're supposed to be grateful. And I couldn't find anything to be grateful for. I was broke. I couldn't afford food. I'm a single mom. I have this kid to take care of. Like, there is nothing to be grateful for. So I didn't buy into any of it. People were saying, oh, meditate and work out and drink a gallon of water, like all these things. And so I tried them all. And here's what that meant: I would roll out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, literally fall on the floor so that the jolt would wake me up, because I needed to meditate, because that's what successful people do. And I need to read in the morning, because that's what successful people do. Obviously, there's something I'm not getting, right? I need to be better, because successful people do all this stuff in the morning. So let me wake up at 3 so I can get 3 hours of meditation, reading books, drinking water, working out, and trying to study for, the GRE, which is what I wanted to do. Then at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna wake my daughter up, get her ready for school, take her to school, go to job number one, so I can come home, pretend to be a good mom for a few hours, and then work job number two, depending on the day, put my daughter to sleep. I would try to go to bed at 9 o'clock so that I can then wake up at 3 o'clock the next day and do it all over again. My friend, I was so depressed. I was so depressed, so burnt out, so miserable. And literally, I would be going to my receptionist job every day. There was a bridge that I would drive down. And as I was driving on this bridge every day, I would just imagine myself sitting on that bridge and just jumping off. Like, that was how I felt. And so when I built that vision board and I was able to take a moment to step away from that day to day, step away from everybody else's advice, because screw their advice. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what they're doing. Obviously, they have enough time, money, and energy to be out here doing a whole morning routine, right? Screw their advice. step away and ask yourself, what do I need? And that was what I had the opportunity to do in creating a vision board. And so that was what got me out of it, throwing out the advice and just asking myself what was right. And so when I think about me in that moment, depressed, talking about jumping off of bridges, that's what I do it for. I do it for her, for every person that's there. And it energizes me to show up over and over again. I mean, how could you not? So many people are fake smiling out here. We're pretending that we're okay. When people ask us, how are you doing? We're like, great, so great. When you know on the inside, you're wishing and hoping that somebody sees you. So I want to be the person that says, I see you.
Lovely. I think that's really such a beautiful story, and I think it's beautiful that you actually took that moment, which was such a low moment in your life, and then you've just now decided to change that around into something that you do to impact other people's lives, as opposed to succumbing to a weak moment and thinking, you know what, nothing's working out for me. So I think I love that. So throw the advice and do and ask yourself, what do I need? I think that's really lovely. In fact, a very powerful question. What do I need? So now tell me, how can you encourage others to also then take a leap and feel empowered to start their own business?
So I think the first thing is just to start where you are. One of the biggest things that killed me in the beginning. So I want to walk back a little teeny bit. When I say like I was trying everything, I tried to start a card making Etsy shop because I saw people on Etsy doing these arts and crafts projects. And I was like, people sell cards that they make? I can do that. I never made a card before in my life. So I literally got a credit card and started buying all these things that the internet said I needed to make these cards. I made 0 cards because I didn't know how to do it. I literally just wanted to make some money and I needed something to save me. Then I decided to try a mom blog because I'm like, people make mom blogs? Let me try that. Literally no money. Then I tried, like, there were so many things that I tried because I simply wanted to get out of where I was. And I thought that this thing would save me, right? This thing is going to catapult me out of what I'm dealing with. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to be successful overnight because that's what we all hope for. It doesn't happen, you guys. So here, you're on mute.
Sorry, I just muted so that we wouldn't have disturbance from outside. But this is so relatable to most of us. Like, I think that's what we do, right? We see someone doing well at something, and we're like, hey, let us also do this thing and then that thing. But I mean, obviously, you don't follow through with it because that's not who you are sometimes. You don't end up making that card.
Yes, exactly. So you have to kind of start where you are and say, okay, like I want to start a business. What's right for me? What do I feel passionate about? What makes sense for me? And so when I started Thrive Lounge, I kind of, I initially actually did not want to be a writer. So Thrive Lounge is actually mostly a blog. I write a blog post a week. I write a ton of emails today, but I don't want to be, it didn't start there. So I had a friend that was a writer and I said, hey, how about you write the blog and I'm going to do videos and I'm going to do the talking to people because that's what I love. And I started making these videos and over time, my friend realized she wanted to do something different. And so I said, you know what? Go for it. Follow what you want to do. I mean, we can't have a vision board business and I'm salty because you want to do what you want to do with your life, right? No, no, no. Do what you feel is right for you. And so I decided, you know what? Let me just try writing. Let me try it. And so I started writing and realized I loved it. But imagine if I would have said, you know what? I want to start this website, but I don't like writing, so I'm not going to start. I could have totally done that. And that would have cut Thrive Lounge off in the beginning. It would have gone nowhere, right? But I started and said, you know what? I want to do this. I'm passionate about this. And I like showing up on video. So I'm going to do that. Here's what you do, my friend. Start where you are, start with what you love, and let life take you wherever it's going to take you. When I started, I did not know I was going to create courses. I did not plan on that. I did not know I was going to create workbooks and books. I did not plan on that. I just started with, I'm going to make some videos because I like talking. And so you've got to start with that thing that gives you energy, because life will take you wherever it's going to go. Like, sometimes you don't know who sees you and they're like, hey, can you come speak at my event? Did you plan on speaking at events? No. But life will do that. It will take you places. So simply commit to the start and start with where you're passionate and what energizes you. And then go from there. Say yes to the opportunities, say yes to what feels good, and most importantly, say yes to yourself.
Fabulous. I think that's brilliant. Start from where you are. That's really nice. So now we're going to cater to our social media audience, and our Instagram followers would like to know if you can think of any one memorable or funny moment in the course of this journey of yours that still brings a smile to your face.
So there was this moment where I kept getting all of these messages from people that said, how are you doing this? How are you hosting these vision board events? This is in the very beginning, because I mainly wanted to talk about how to set goals, how to make your vision boards. How do you do this? And that's all I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to really talk to people like who wanted to host vision board parties or anything like that. I wanted to help people create the life that they wanted to see. And that's it. So I'm, ever so happily writing my little blog posts and telling people how to set goals. And then maybe about, I would say, a year into the blogging journey, I started getting so many messages from people saying, how are you doing this? How are you hosting vision board events? How are you selling tickets? How is this happening? How are you pricing? And so I noticed I'm answering a lot of these questions. And I said, well, let me write a blog post about it since so many people are asking me. I'll just write a blog post. So I wrote a detailed blog post about each one of the questions I was getting. And then when I did that, I started getting even more questions. How are you hosting these events? And I'm like, okay, you know what? And I think it was a random piece of advice. It's like, if you get a lot of questions, then look to create something for those people, because there's clearly a need. And even though I had no interest in helping people host vision board parties, I kept getting the questions. So I said, okay, I'm just going to like create a little workbook for these people that keep asking me these questions. And I had one woman who asked me a lot of questions. I said, hey, I created this book. Can you be a beta reader? I'll give it to you for free. And let me know what you think about it. And she immediately emailed me back within a week and said, this is so much information. This is so good. You cannot make this a book. This must be a course. And so I said, okay, well, sure, why not? And I took the information, I threw it into like a free course platform, and then I put it up online. And I remember just sending out an email saying, hey guys, I created this. It's $79. If you want it, go buy it. And actually the I remember the first day I put it up and I just had it for 49, and I didn't tell anyone about it. Like the very first day I put it up, and I put it on my website, and the next morning I woke up and someone bought it. And I remember you know how you sit in the bathroom and you're on the phone, because that's what we do now. We're like, I'm in the bathroom checking my email and I see that someone bought it, and I literally like jump like for joy right there. I finish what I'm doing. I run out of the bathroom, tell my boyfriend at the time, who is my now husband, I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody bought it. And I'd never priced even at $49 before. So like the fact that like someone bought it and for $49, what is this? And that moment in itself was like, I'm onto something. And I guess it all goes with the theme of kind of like start, because if I had not started with the videos, I never would have started writing. I never would have started talking about my vision board events. No one would have asked me questions. I never would have created this. Like, this is not something I planned. I just followed the journey. I followed wherever the world was going to take me. And today I train coaches on hosting vision board parties. Like, I would have never saw that coming. But here we are, and it is one of the best programs inside of my business.
And such a sweet thing. It again ties back to what you said. Start from where you are, and life will take you there. It will take you in the direction you're meant to go in. So that's brilliant. Our Facebook users would now like to know, what is the one business value you stand by?
The one business value, it would be to just create a habit of working in your business. Like, it should be a daily thing. It shouldn't be like, I'm I'm working on this today and I'm gonna let it chill for a week and I'm gonna come back to it. Like, if you are in the beginning stages, simply create a habit of sitting down and doing the work. We can all dream big. We can all talk about all the millions that we're going to make one day, but you will not get there, my friend, if you do not sit your butt in the chair and do the work. And so, like, don't spend so much time like learning the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Once you have a good idea of like, this is what I'm going to do, sit your butt down, do the work. And when you hit a roadblock, then find more information. But don't learn all 50,000 steps and then feel like, okay, now I have clarity. Listen, that will set you back years. You will never start. You will never gain the momentum. You will never see what's next. And it doesn't matter what you plan, it will not happen the way you thought it would. It never, ever does. So just start, put your butt in the chair, and do the work.
And I love it. I love every one of the things you've said, because it's so relatable and it's so doable, and this is what is needed often when people don't end up achieving what their dreams are, or following through and matching their vision. I think that's
Mhm.
that's what the vision board is all about. So that's brilliant. And last but not the least, our LinkedIn audience would like to know whether you've had any changes with the current situation that's going on. Has there been a new normal? And how do you plan to adapt to this new normal perspective in business?
So, of course, there's been changes. We've moved a lot of things online. But I will say this, whenever things change and whenever there is a new normal, you now have an opportunity to meet people in that new normal for them. One of the initial things that I did once COVID hit, once people went, into hiding, I came out with a product that was how to host virtual vision board parties. And that has helped people immensely in this time. I was afraid and terrified of selling it because I thought, oh man, like people are struggling. I mean, if you listen to the news, everybody's struggling, everybody's unemployed, nobody has money, the world is burning, and like everything is terrible, right? And so I didn't want to sell because the news says everyone's struggling. So obviously everyone's struggling. But I just did like, I said, you know what? I really think this is needed in this world. Let me put it out there and see what happens. So I did one webinar. And on that webinar, I said, hey, here's this thing. I'm selling it right now. Here's the price. And here's the responses I got. Oh my God, I need this. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for putting this together. I'm buying this right now because I need to move my events online. I need to I need this information. Thank you. And because people were so excited, I got more excited about my offer. I'm like, okay, no one hates me. No one hates me. I followed my gut and it paid off. Let me continue to sell this. And because of that, I now have two tiers to my vision board events. It used to be mostly in person, but now I'm teaching people how to do them virtually and in person. And also, one interesting thing is that my speaking engagements, like requests, have gone up because people now are reaching out to me from all over asking me to do virtual events for them. So even though it seems like this is an awful time, my friend, it is also an opportunity.
That's brilliant. This has been such a fantastic conversation, Chantel, and I'm so happy that you were here to share your why and this journey of yours. I'm sure viewers, you also would be having a great time listening to Chant'l Martin. Chantel, please tell us, if our viewers need to reach you, where can they find you?
You can just find me on Instagram at Thrive Lounge.
At Thrive Lounge. Okay,
Yep.
fantastic. So this has been fabulous. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. I'm so happy that we got to have this chat.
Absolutely.